I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. When I go into a company, imagine me as a consultant, and you hired me to come in. Let's say you were the owner of the company. Some of you are owners, many of you are not, right? You're salespeople, which you own your own business, but you work for a company. So imagine if you hired me as a consultant for one day and said, JB, come into my company, come in and tell me, look at everything, say, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And give me sort of a triage here of what I should work on and so forth. How do I bump up my closing rate? How do I make more money? How do I get more referrals? The whole 9 yards, right? So what I want to do is I want to tell you the process, explain to you how I go about discerning what any company can get from the straight line. What are the points in their business or the pockets that can have the biggest bang for the buck, right? So as a consultant, so I work backwards, right? I always work backwards, right? So the first thing I look at, I said, okay, number one, I said, let's look at the sales side of the equation. Let's look at the sales force, meaning, what type of sales cycle are they using? Is it a one-call system, a two-call system? Are those calls in person? Are they over the phone? Or are they a hybrid of the two? Okay, and so forth. How much of their sales is happening automated online through video sales, right? A lot of people are doing that these days. So usually it's a hybrid as well. So I always look at the sales, and I also just as much always look at the marketing side of the equation. I say, and how are they going about getting their leads? I look at both areas, right? And I say to them, and I'll see what they're doing. And of course, the first thing I'll do is I will listen to the salespeople, see how they sound, right? So number one is I want to see how they actually sound. Forget about what they're saying. I want to see how they sound. Do they sound good? Do they have good tonality? If they're out in the field, are they using the right body language? A lot of times, there's a lot of companies, for instance, I've done trainings, for instance, to give you an example, Wyndham, right? Big vacation rental company, right? Vacation sales, right? They don't have salesmen that go out into the field, but they have people that come to them, right? So what they'll do is they have all these advertisements and free giveaways. We'll give you this weekend here or 2 days free. Come as long as you listen to this presentation, right? And then they'll have 50, 100 people a day come into their offices, right? And they have salesmen and then try to close them on a vacation package, right? A vacation sale, right? So in that case, you have face-to-face sales, right? But in their office, right? And then I can listen to them that way. But there's all these different variables, right? But I want to see how, number one, how do the salespeople sound, right? Number two, what are they actually saying? What are they saying? I mean, what words are they saying? And to do that, if it's in person, face-to-face, I can listen on. If it's over the phone, I can listen. But I also want to look at the scripts. I want to see the quality of whatever scripts they're using. And typically, they're mostly not using scripts on the phone. Well, let me give you an example. Here's one major takeaway here today for everybody, is that the big mistake many of you might be making, hopefully, if you've been here for a while, you're probably not doing this anymore. But the biggest mistake I see with scripts is that people will use scripts, but they're not actually usable scripts. That the scripts are flawed in so many ways. And the two big flaws that I see are that they're not actually end to end. Although their definition of a script will be one language pattern, one good way of saying something. Like the first sentence of the introduction, like that's their script. Here's my script. And they'll give you it's like this long or this long. And then there's nothing after. There's no looping patterns. You get it? There's no questions. They don't have their questions scripted out for their intelligence gathering. So they think they're using a script, but they're not using. That's not using a script. Okay? Using a script means you have everything well thought out, the perfect words written in the spoken word, so they're actually usable. They flow like butter. You get it? So very often they're not using scripts. I want to see what they're saying. Okay? And then number three, okay, I want to see how they're handling objections. What do they do when the customers inevitably say, let me think about it, let me call you back? How are they handling all the people who sit on the fence, as the phrase goes? Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, your success in sales and in business, by the way, is going to be directly related to your ability to get people who are sitting on the fence, the people who have all the common objections. Let me think about it. Let me call you back. Bad time here. Your success is going to be based on turning those people into customers. It's not, the laydowns are the laydowns. You get it? The laydowns are easy. And every company out there, even if they suck at sales, they still get their laydowns, which is why companies can still make some money even when their sales kind of suck. And that's why I can go into those companies and have such a dramatic impact, because when you apply, so if someone's making money when they're selling stinks, right? Just imagine what happens when you apply the principles of the straight line. It just blows it up, right? But on many levels, your success is going to be based on number 3. How many people, not that these first 2 aren't important, they're crucial, of course, right? But at the end of the day, what comes down to money is, how do you take the people who say, let me think about it? What's their strategy for that? Now, is that, and included in that is, do they work on callbacks? Do they have follow-up marketing? Do they have any email, they send to people every day? That's number 3. And then number 4 is, what type of referral or affiliate programs do they have in place? How do they take their existence? This is probably one of the biggest misses of most companies, is that they don't go to their customers they have and get them to buy more. The most obvious thing of all is to go to the people that you're serving right now, that you're giving value to, who are your happy customers, and coming up with other products that they can use, that they need, that will benefit them, and making money. It's a huge miss for most companies.